Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm gonna be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto Became the New God of Apokolips. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and I already posted a brand new episode over on Anime Prince, a movie to be exact, of What If Naruto went to the My Hero Academy universe. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy. Yes, you heard that correctly. I need a 4 channel guys, Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince, which I post what fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for helping and support, and yeah, without further ado or wasting no more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. So, the last part that we left off, Naruto informed his father that he was going alone, as his presence there would only make things escalate to a violent point. As Naruto made his way off, with that, Joseph and Rose was speaking together with their mental link that they had. They believed that they had killed their father, well, Joseph with his telekinesis abilities. However, if it wasn't for Slade regeneration, yes, he would be dead. But he was alive. As they were talking to one another, Rose and Joseph were bonded in a way, as their minds were connected through his mental link, making them know everything and understand everything about one another. That is when someone hijacked their mental link, confusing the two of them, as a voice spoke up and told them to come and meet him. Said voice was none other than Naruto. As they realized that everyone was gone, all of their soldiers, which made no sense at all. Thus, they made their way, as they knew that this could be a big trap. Arriving though, they saw that there was no traps, nothing there. He was just waiting on them. He dropped his mask as he saw his face. They thought he was here to get revenge for Slade, seeing that he was now dead. As Naruto informed them that Slade was alive and well, that confused the both of them. They asked where were their men. As Naruto raised his hand and dropped the feel that he had right in front of their eyes, they saw all of their men appeared. They were shocked, as Naruto was using an art called ninjutsu, which he mixed with his cosmic power. He could do several amazing things with that. They want to know exactly who he is, as Naruto figured that it was best if he just showed them, as he would send them a mental link to understand who he is. Rose looked towards Joseph because this was his whole thing, as he understand that he would have to trust him to enter their minds. However, they agreed. Once they saw who he was, they were baffled. Yes, baffled and shocked, as they were able to find out exactly who this individual was. And everything. They saw his life. Rose couldn't understand how he did not more hate Slade, but she figured it had something to do with him being, well, a god. Maybe his emotions are not soft and keen to, well, emotional attributes like them. That must be the case. But their brother was a god. They made certain circumstances in order for Slade and Adeline to be a part of their life. When Naruto returned back, he informed Slade and Adeline about these circumstances. As Slade's first job was to go and kill the jackal, the man that had tormented them for some time now. As he agreed to do so, Adeline was concerned that Naruto was just shushing her away by this point, which he was not trying to, but she wanted to get to know him as well. Despite what her husband had done, he was Joseph's brother, and she wanted to know him. As Naruto wouldn't mind that as well. Some time passed. Ivy had been working for Naruto for 2 months now. As Rose came there to speak to Naruto about several details that she wanted to inform her about, Ivy didn't want to leave though, as she thought it was some business tech things that she was being kept out of. However, they let her believe that they were an item despite them not saying a word. Her mind quickly went to that when he said it was personal. She left looking rather embarrassed. It was there that Rose informed Naruto about several jobs that they want to take with Hive. There were several things that they had to do, which require a telepath. They would have to use Joseph for this, but Joseph has never been on a mission by himself. Rose has always been with him, as Naruto encouraged her to separate a bit from him. After all, there will come a time in the future where he will have to be able to defend himself as well. Yes, he was strong enough, but he was always doting on her as well, as she figured that he was right. There were also several prominent kids that they want to bring into Hive, several kids that were experimented on and used by the governments, each of them possessing unnatural ability, as Naruto will be embarking on said mission. So with that, Rose made her way, saying goodbye to Naruto. Because of the mental link they now share, they knew everything about each other and care for each other deeply. So yeah guys, basically let's play off. You guys can switch across the playcheck to yourself, and don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs of the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the making family. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into this. Begin now guys. After Rose had left the building, as she made her way, Hack spoke up, as Naruto had allowed her to listen to the entire conversation. Brother and sister. That woman is your sister. I thought there was a strange bond between the two of you, but I didn't know that it was something like this. And this Jericho, who is he to her? Who is he to you? Why did you allow me to listen to this conversation? You never do anything without a reason. Hack asked a lot of questions, as she was a bit frustrated that she had to ask. After all, her whole specialty was gathering information on almost everything. As Naruto spoke, her real name is Rose Wilson. Her alias is Hive Queen. Jericho, real name is Joseph Wilson. And my real name, as you know, or my other name, is Nathaniel Wilson. And yes, they're also like me, the children of Deathstroke, the Terminator. Naruto replied to her. And the 3 of you are a part of a secret organization known as Hive. She said, yes, we are the ringleaders, said Naruto, with me on top of the hierarchy chain. As to why I let you overheard that conversation, I think it should be obvious. I mean, Rose and I did breach a topic in our conversation. You want me to join Hive? As if you needed to ask. Of course I'll join Hive, sir. It will be an honor, said Hack. In that case, it is time for me to take your training to the next level. Hack was confused. The next level? There's a next level? As she was pretty sure, apart from her boss, no one was a better hack than she was. You have mastered technology and software interference with Earth technology. But there are so many different technology from across the universe. So many far advanced technology than what you're used to. So from now on, we will be focusing on that, said Naruto. I am assuming that you somehow have access to these technologies, said Hack. Naturally, your training will take place on Saturday and Sundays. You can forget about enjoying your weekends for the foreseeable future, said Naruto. Roger that, sir, she said, as she was excited to learn about different technology from another world. Well, that is what get her going. Good, said Naruto. Now contact Instant and tell him to bring Ivy back to my office. And you are hereby dismissed. Consider it done. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir. You too, said Naruto. A short while later, I didn't know that you have a girlfriend, Pamela said, as she and Naruto and the only one were in the office, after Naruto sent Instant away, so that he could have a talk with her one-on-one. As she was nervous after the whole big thing she made about their conversation when she was the one out of line. That's not what I wanted to talk to you about. I called for you so I can tell you my plan, or rather, my goal, said Naruto. It is rather simple. Wave Consolidated is not the only company I own. I have dozens of shell corporations across the world. I am using these shell corporations to create the illusion of a free market, but in actuality, I am creating a worldwide monopoly. Eventually, I will be the sole producer of all form of energy. And That way I can ensure that I create a technological advance, but eco-friendly Earth. Ivy eyes widened as she heard that from Naruto. She was shocked by the sheer scope, the magnitude of what he was trying to do. You mentioned that I have the potential to influence who become president by funding the political party of the person I support. That's a brilliant idea, very inspiring, but you have only scratched the surface. In other words, you're thinking way too small, said Naruto. I I don't understand, she said, confused. I foresee a future where there is no political parties, where the world is united under one banner, my banner. I foresee a future where corporations do not have to fund political parties, but simply run that country themselves, said Naruto. As Ivy placed it together, and since you have a monopoly, amount of branches that run through the planet, that means you'll be the one running the entire world itself, Ivy said, trailing off. She was shocked as she looked towards him. Precisely. Now, I'm going to be frank, said Naruto. There's a lot I haven't told you about me, a lot that you don't know. You have not earned that level of trust yet, and there's no guarantee that you ever will. However, I happen to believe in second chances, so I am willing to give you a chance. Consider me sharing this info with you as a form of graduation, but this would be the equivalent to you graduating from high school. As you can imagine, you still have a long way to go, said Naruto, his voice stern and commanding. I understand, sir. I'll do my best, Ivy said. Ivy couldn't understand the reason, but for some reason she felt compelled to do what he says. She wanted to go out of her way to help and impress and please him. Good. Now a lot has happened in a short span of time, so I will allow you a 1-hour break to process everything, said Naruto. You're dismissed, Naruto said, ending the conversation right there and then, as Ivy thanked him for the generosity that he showed before she leave. Because she felt grateful and she felt like she had a lot to process, what he said still going on in her mind. She needed the hour to sort her thoughts out. Once that was done, Naruto locked up the office as he switched on the 3D screen in the office that showed Supergirl interview with Katko News. Normally, he wouldn't have done something like this, but for the past 2 months, him and Supergirl had been hanging out a lot, even having dinner together, almost every night. So here he was watching her on her interview, but she had been the one to tell him about it last night, and she wanted him to watch her first appearance on the live stream. As much as he hated to admit it, he would feel horrible if he tell her that he had to miss it. His pride and ego were yelling at him to just ignore it and not be influenced and changed by a stupid girl in blue spandex. However, his heart and mind was telling him that Supergirl was worth the trouble. After all, it was her kindness that made him believe that there was still genuine goodness, pure kindness in this world. However, Naruto then wondered, am I some kind of idiot? He brought his hand up. Poof! A clone appeared beside him. It seems like Supergirl is turning me to an idiot, or maybe her idiocy is contagious, Naruto thought to himself, before he walked off, leaving the clone to watch the interview. Meanwhile, the clone was there, where the real interview was taking place, as the both of them sat. So, Supergirl, let's get the obvious question out of the way. Are you in fact like Superman, a Kryptonian? And if you are, what is the relationship between you two? Are you his wife, his sibling, his friend? Or is there no relationship between the two of you? Cat Grant asks, as she was a little disappointed that she only got the afternoon slot for the Supergirl interview, where Superman had gotten the primetime interview slot on his first interview public, as that was done by Lois Lane of the Daily Planet. Had she been a lesser person, she would have been tempted to accuse the media of gender bias, but she knew that was not the case. Supergirl had saved a lot of life, yes, but Superman had saved the entire planet from eradication, from an alien species invasion. So yes, he had been on the headline of everything. There was also the fact that Superman was the first of his kind to be here. However, she just hoped that in time, Supergirl would live up to the Superman legacy, or dare she say it, surpass it. Well, as you know, Superman's name is Kal-El, and mine is Kara Zor-El. So yes, we are family. My father and his father were brothers. So he's my close cousin. I was actually sent here to guide him as he moved towards his destiny. But for reasons I cannot disclose, his pod made it to Earth before mine, while I was stuck in another dimension where time has no meaning. That is why, despite being born 13 years before he was, I am now younger than him. Kara explained, trying to summarize the story into a shorter version. In another dimension. Okay, that is not normal at all, but we'll leave that for B now. This interview is not necessarily learning about your past, but getting to know Supergirl as a person she is. So with that said, are you and your cousin close? And the symbol on your chest, is it a family crest? Kat asks, we are not as close as I would like. In fact, for a long time I felt like he abandoned me. However, the bond between us is unbreakable. I will always love him, just as I'm sure that he will always love me. And yes, it is a family crest. It looked like a S, but where I am from it means hope. It is a hope that drives me and my cousin. I would like to believe that we are both the embodiment of that ideal, or at least we try our best to be. I see, said Kat. So, Supergirl, are your people attracted to human beings? I mean, you obviously are not like us, with you being practically invincible and all, but you do look like humans, albeit a perfect version of us though. What I'm trying to say is there a love interest somewhere out there? And can you tell us about him or her? Kat asks, with both curiosity and excitement. Well, yes, there is, Kara said, unable to contain her excitement. And he's human, Kat asks. Yes, I mean, to the best of my knowledge, he is, Kara said. Oh my god, look at you. I know that look. Supergirl, you're in love, Kat said. As realization dawned on her. What? No, I'm not in love, I just like him a lot. That's all, she said, blushing up a storm. I can see it all over your face. Come on, you have to tell the audience. I'm sure the entire world is dying to know who the lucky bastard is, said Kat. Well, I can't tell you his name, of course, but he's tall. Very tall, but not too tall, you know. He is in great shape, and he's young, successful, handsome, and very, very intelligent, funny, weird but good weird. Like lovable weird. He is also very sweet, but in a roundabout sort of way. He tried to pretend like he doesn't care, but then he does things to show that he does care. Supergirl tried to explain without giving away too much detail. Well, at least she tried to. He also has this presence about him. You know, like a military commander or a CEO or something. He commands a lot of respect without actually demanding anything. He also has the body of a Greek god, and he's also kind of a geek. You can call him a Greek geek. A cross between a jock and a nerd, she said with a smile as she laughed a bit, as she tried to imagine the look on his face at him being called a Greek geek. We've been seeing each other for 2 months now, but we have not taken the relationship to the next level yet. I think we could. She paused. Oh my god, I forgot. He's listening. He's listening right now, as she looked towards the cameras and covered her face. Wow, honestly, that's more information than I expected, but that does prove one thing though. You're indeed in love with him, said Kat. What? But that doesn't prove anything, Supergirl said. When you love someone like the way you love him, you cannot stop talking about them. If someone asks one question that you can answer in one sentence, you can end up talking the entire day about that person. At the very least, you have a very real and strong crush on him. Well, when you put it like that, I guess you do make a good point. Good. Now tell us his name, said Kat. No, I would never jeopardize his life like that. I have very dangerous enemies. I cannot do that to him, Kara said, seriously. At least tell us, where does he live? He does not live in National City. That's all you're gonna get, said Kara. Okay, fine, said Kat. I know that I've intruded on your privacy, so I'll back off now, she said. However, Kat believed with the amount of information she got, she could narrow it down and find out who was this Mr. Man. Thank you, Supergirl said. Time skip. I guess you're mad about the interview, aren't you? Said Kara. As both her and Naruto sat at dinner table in his expensive penthouse. She was in her Supergirl outfit, like usual, and he was in one of his expensive business suits, except without the tie and the blazer. Why would you think I'm upset, said Naruto. You have not spoken a word since I arrived, Supergirl said. Neither have you, said Naruto. Are you mad at me? No, of course not. See? Not talking does not mean one is mad. As she looked towards him like he had just grown, a head on his shoulder. As Naruto had, a look of amusement written all over his face. Wait, you did that on purpose. You butthole, she said. As Naruto raised the eyebrow. Butthole, he said. Seriously. What's the difference between ass and butt? It's the same thing. You can say asshole, you know. As he rolled his eyes at how innocent she was. I thought that you would be angry because I talk about you on TV. I mean, I know that we haven't taken things to the next step, and I thought that you might be upset. Kara, it's okay. I mean, it's not really okay that you placed a microscope on me, but I understand that it was just an innocent mistake. You have to learn from it though and try not to make the same mistake again, said Naruto, in a calm tone. Which part was a mistake exactly, Kara said. As she was feeling a bit insecure as she wondered if Naruto really had any serious intentions with her. She knew that she was the one that made a move on him, the one that kept coming to his apartment uninvited. However, even though she was uninvited, he had never turned her away or made her feel unwelcome. Still, everything about their relationship so far was her pushing things in one direction, and while he was not resisting, he had not made a push on his part. The part where you reveal my identity, said Naruto. It seems like you're not aware, but Catco has released a poll of suspected Supergirl suitors on our website, and I am the leading suspect. Most fans had voted that they believe I am Supergirl, secret lover. The fact that my name would have appeared in the poll in the first place would be a matter of concern, but the fact that I am the leading suspect make things all the more complicated. Kara's eyes widened at that as her mouth opened and closed repeatedly. Without any word coming out, she did not know about that. It also makes things worse that you gave a time frame to how long we've been seeing each other. The public are not as naive as you thought. They figure out that 2 months ago was the first time you and I met on top of the wave building, consolidated. Her heart sinking further and further as he spoke as she realized what a blunder she has made. I am so sorry, Naruto-kun, she said. I had no idea that my answers gave away such information. I really thought I was being careful, not revealing anything too significant, she apologized, as she felt horrible about the trouble and danger she brought upon his life with her actions. I am not angry with you. Like I said, I know that it was an honest mistake. I know that you would not, intentionally, endanger my life. There is nothing to forgive. I only ask that you learn from your mistake, that is all. Is that why you asked me to sweep the area when you opened the window for me? Because everyone suspects that we're in a relationship, Supergirl asked curiously. Indeed, said Naruto. It only makes sense for people to start to watch my penthouse, to catch us in the act. Villains, media, and other unknown parties that have an interest in me, you, or us together will now be monitoring my place of residence. My security is tight though. This penthouse is quite the fortress, and so is my workplace. I have beefed up security since the Poison Ivy attack. Naruto replied to her question. Naruto-kun, she said, my enemies are super villains, some that even give me a run for my money. I think, whatever this is, we should end it, she said. I have ruined things beyond repair. It's best if we stop now. I don't want you to get hurt, she said, as she held back tears. Well, that is up to you, said Naruto. Personally though, I would be very hurt and disappointed if you were to pull away now. I was actually planning to ask you to be my girlfriend. Kara was shocked hearing that. As Naruto still continued, I know it's customary to ask someone out on a date before making that proposal. But seeing that we cannot be seen in public, I thought Naruto was cut off as she flew across the table and tackled him down to the ground. As she took the initiative and placed a kiss on his lip, she pulled back after a few seconds. This means yes, in case you were wondering, she said, as Naruto looked into her eyes while he was on the ground. Before he pulled himself up, picking her up in the process, she squealed as she was in his arms. They locked lips once again as Naruto brought her towards his bedroom as neither of them could control their lust anymore for each other. As they were going to be spending a pleasurable and wonderful night together. Time skip. 3 days later. Undisclosed location. Gentlemen, an opportunity has presented itself to us, and I believe this will be a game changer, Amanda Waller said as she pressed a button, showing a massive screen that lit up with showing one image. Said image was a man, which was none other than Naruto Uzumaki. As for Amanda Waller, she was a big boned chubby African American woman. Short dark hair, brown eyes. She was wearing a blue blazer, a white shirt and a blue skirt, along with black shoes. She was the only woman in the room, surrounded by several powerful men, including the State Secretary of Defense and the head of Project Hell. There was also General Lane, head of the ASA. There was Percy Odell, head of Argus. The next being Colonel Steve Trevor, who was head of Cadmus. The next being General Wayne Eiling. And there was also the head of the DEO, General Calvin Swangwick. All of these powerful people were a part of a secret organization that they helped to keep the world safe. Well, their safety was kind of built on their control. After all, if they could not control it, it was not that safe. They had to make sure the world was in their clutches. Let me get this straight. This has something to do with that nonsense about Supergirl being in a relationship with that genius boy Naruto Uzumaki. Is that right? General Swanwick said. He was the head of the DEO. He had never trusted Superman. He had dedicated all of his strength and resources to find information as much as possible on the alien. And that includes finding out its secret identity, place of residence, secret lair, close family, allies, friends, strength, weaknesses. It wasn't that Superman had done anything bad to make General Swanwick doubt him. In fact, it was the opposite. For someone that had so much power to be that good, it was just hard to believe. And even then, good or bad, for him to just exist as he was a matter of serious national and planetary security. However, Supergirl came around, and she was technically working for DEO. The relationship was her being accommodated to them, unlike Superman, who did not get involved with the DEO. In her time there though, Swanwick started to see her as his protege. Everyone at DEO loved her, and General Swanwick was certain that if he ordered everyone there to kill Supergirl, 75% of them would outright refuse and actually turn against the DEO, and the rest would drag their feet, trying to stall to find some way to get out of this. She was a good person. He had seen the lengths that she would go to protect humankind. So if Waller had any intentions to use something with Supergirl involvement to hurt her, he would not be supporting this in any way. The tone that you use lead me to believe that you have become attached to this alien thing. Amanda Waller said. There was disgust in her tone. Waller, at the DEO, I deal with aliens on a daily basis. I agree that we must have means to protect ourselves from them. And yes, we must do whatever it takes to do that. But to refer to them as things, without even mentioning the fact that they are obviously sentient beings, and 99% of them that we have encountered has superior technology to us. If a mere thing can have superior technology to us, then what does that make us? Swanwick asked in an incredulous tone. Oh, for God's sake, just quit your petty squabbling and get to the damn point. What have you found out about Naruto Uzumaki? What is his connection to Supergirl? Do you have anything that we can use? General Wade Eiling asked in an impatient tone. As a matter of fact, I do. Take a look at this. Waller pressed a button. As the image showed, Supergirl flying through Metropolis. Another image showed a gigantic black spot. What are we looking at here, Amanda? General Lane asked curiously. In the last 3 days since Supergirl interview, I've had surveillance over everyone that was listed by Catco. Every day, between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m., Supergirl is seen flying towards this blank spot. Uzumaki Naruto penthouse is located around this blank spot. Amanda, that's a radius of 4 miles. Do you have any idea how many buildings are contained in a 4-mile radius in Metropolis? General Swanwick said. However, Steve Trevor had a question. I think the most important question is, why is there a blank spot around that area? Something, perhaps some advanced technology or maybe even alien technology is blocking the satellite from imaging that area. Uzumaki Naruto run the most advanced and technological bioengineer institute in the entire world. He's the obvious suspect here. Supergirl is also an alien from Krypton. I don't need to tell you how advanced their technology is. Either way, the fact that Supergirl has gone to this blank area where Naruto Uzumaki reside every day since the Catgo release and the interview poll would suggest that Uzumaki Naruto is indeed Supergirl love interest. It is not absolute proof, but we are not policemen or are we juries? We do not need proof beyond reasonable doubt. We just need common sense, said Amanda. I agree with Miss Waller, although common sense is not common to everyone. I'm inclined to believe that everyone in this room at least possess common sense. With that said, I move that we vote right now. Raise your hand if you support Miss Waller plans, Agent Percy said as he raised his hand in the air. Agent Percy was a bald man of African descent. He appeared to be a well-mannered man, but he also possessed a frightening presence. It would be similar to a feeling if you were standing next to a sociopath. Perhaps he is one. Well, to be correct, everyone in here was a sociopath. If lying, manipulating, ordering mass genocide, and messing with public knowledge was something that sociopath would do. So these people in here were crazy, but they kept it well hidden. You dimwit, General Eiling said. We do not even know what her plan is. She called us here at 5 in the morning. She obviously has a plan, and she intends to fulfill it today. Do we really need to find her details? This Naruto Uzumaki has become a billionaire without having a single government contract, and he still refused to produce weapons for the government. We need some sort of leverage over him, as we do for Supergirl, General Lane said. I thought we had Lex Luthor for that. He has served us well, has he not? Do you intend to throw him out like trash with everything he knows about us? General Eiling said. Why does it have to be either or? Why not secure them both? Why would we just be content with Lex Luthor? He has the second best technology in the world. Why would we settle for second best? Isn't it about time that we brought that pompous child Naruto Uzumaki to kneel? Amanda said. Fine, I stand corrected. You have my vote, General Eiling said, as he raised his hand up in the air in support of Amanda. As you have mine. Whatever your plan is, make sure it works, and make sure that it does not backfire. I have never seen any of these aliens, Supergirl included, as our allies. However, they are not our direct enemy either. Whatever their endgame is, we are fortunate that they haven't attacked us directly yet. If you piss off Supergirl, and by extension, Superman as well, I shudder to think what it would take to defeat them, if we even could. General Lane said in a grave tone, as he raised his hand in the air as well. We know the weakness of the Kryptonians, General. Magic, red sun, UV rays, and most of all, kryptonite. They can be defeated. They're not gods. They just pretend to be, Amanda said. Let us hope that you're right then, said Lane. He and everyone else noticed that Trevor and General Swanwick did not raise their hands, but they were not surprised. The results are 3 votes to 2. Thank you for your time. I will call you all back here when I have Naruto Uzumaki by the balls and Supergirl by her indestructible breasts. As for you, General Swanwick, if you do or say anything to tip Supergirl off in any way whatsoever. Waller did not finish, leaving the threat open in the air. Later that morning, 10 a.m. Sir, you have a visitor, and she bypassed all the security to get to your office. She appeared to have teleported towards your office. Hack informed Naruto, as Naruto raised the eyebrow, wondering who had the audacity to do such a thing. What should I do, sir? Hack asked. Leave her be for now. Continue to protect the digital mainframe and run a deep dive on her background. That's all for now. She will have to wait until I'm finished with my meeting, said Naruto, as he used his mind to communicate telepathically with Hack. Consider it done, sir, said Hack. Naruto was currently in a management meeting, as he had gathered all the heads of the regular department for a meeting and debrief, monthly one. Some might wonder why he was being so nonchalant about someone that could just teleport into his business area. However, as far as Naruto was concerned, there was no really need to worry. All the sensitive areas were protected with life form detection seals, space-time barriers, and alarm barriers. There was also trap seals all over the place, so there was no need to worry. And if someone tried to walk in and physically attack his staff, or get through to sensitive areas, they will have to deal with Looker's superpowers. Naruto had not put any traps around his office directly, because anyone had the balls to come directly to deal with him. He wanted to deal with them himself. And also, his computer was protected by the most technological advanced software that was ever created. So there was really nothing no one could steal from his office. I found some information about her, sir. It was heavily protected, far more protected than even information on the president himself. But it was nothing I couldn't handle. A lot of interesting and horrifying stuff, sir. Open your mind to me. It will be quicker, said Naruto. Hack projected her thoughts to her leader as Naruto downloaded everything from her mind. Project Ultiman, huh? From what I gather, the project is nearly completed. This is good. Another government made a human project that Hive can swoop in and steal from right under their noses, Naruto thought to himself. Sir, the members of this new project are being implanted with false memories. Since your brother is currently dealing with the royal flush, perhaps Brainwave can handle this one. It's right up his alley. Oh no, my beloved protege, said Naruto. I'll handle this one myself. As you wish, sir. But what about her? What about the Suicide Squad? What about everything else she has done? And shouldn't the fact being who she is be a grave concern? I mean, what could she possibly want from you? Hack said. The Suicide Squad is of no consequence to me. 99% of them has earned their sentence. Even the ones that haven't are not worth the risks of rescue, seeing that they're probably a step away from earning their sentence anyway. As for what she wants with me, isn't it obvious? She's here to try and leverage me to become one of her government stooges. As Naruto was speaking to Hack mentally while still holding the meeting with all the members in front of him. After all, the capacity of his godly brain seemed to have no limit. You think this has something to do with Supergirl, sir? I mean, it's kind of obvious you and her are... Hack trail off, not saying it. That obvious, huh? Now that you mentioned, perhaps. That is the reason why Waller is here. Well then, that means I'm gonna need you to do me a favor, said Naruto. 2 hours later. Hello, Miss Waller. I was informed about your arrival, but unfortunately, I was in a very important meeting at the time. I apologize for the inconvenience of making you wait for 2 hours, Naruto said with a lack of sincerity in his tone. Waller frowned instantly, trying to figure out how the hell this kid even know who she is. More or less, how did she know that he was here the entire time, seeing that from she got here no one had stepped foot inside? How do you know who I am? Amanda said. Her tone was one of a threat. We live in dangerous times, Mrs. Waller, and information is one of the greatest resources one can have to navigate their way through these treacherous waters. As Naruto was not looking at her, he was typing something on his laptop. I'm here to, actually, I think I'll rather show you, said Waller, as she unfolded a A2 chart on Naruto's table, images of Supergirl and the blank spot, and other information on it. And this is, Naruto asks, Supergirl traveling directly towards your penthouse every evening after the Catco interview, and this blind spot here is your penthouse. We also couldn't help but notice that this blind spot only appeared when Supergirl traveled towards your penthouse. After all, the rest of the day, it isn't here. Interesting that you would show me this garbage. Come on, Miss Waller, said Naruto. This proved literally nothing. There is absolutely no proof that this blind spot is caused by me. By the look of this chart, it covers a 4-mile radius. It could be caused by anyone in and around that area, said Naruto. Your penthouse is at the center of that radius. Common sense would suggest that you're the cause of it. And it's because you want to hide your relationship with Kara Zor-El, Waller said. Okay, let's say that it was true, which it is not. But let's say that it was. So what? What does that have to do with you? We know Supergirl cover identity. We know from the moment she arrived on this planet, she was taken in by the Danvers family. In fact, her adopted father agreed to work for us. In exchange, we would stay away from her. That deal was on the premise that Kara Danvers maintained a normal human life, but by taking up the mantle Supergirl, she has essentially broken the terms of our agreement. However, we are willing to make a new deal with you. We tend to be generous like that, Waller said, in an arrogant tone. Kara Danvers. Interesting. I assume this is about weapon technology. Am I correct? Said Naruto. That and anything that we want you to make or do for us, Waller said. I see. You are a clever woman, diabolical, possibly evil as well. But clearly very clever. Your plan might have worked though, if there was anything going on between Supergirl and I. However, you're just grasping at thin air, nothing to hold on to. I have no connection to Supergirl, and even if I did, there is nothing that you can do or say to make me work for you. As Naruto pulls something out from his suit jacket and threw it towards Waller. Just in case you get any future bright ideas, you might want to remember that you're not made of steel either. Naruto said darkly, as Waller picked up the card that he threw towards her to see that it was a picture of Waller, her 3 children and her ex-husband. Another reason I had to make you wait. I printed this on my way here, said Naruto. How did you get this? Waller said. Come on now, Waller. If the government want my resource and technology so badly, it lead you to believe that my technology and resources are far superior to what the government possess. It's, what did you call it? Common sense, said Naruto. You piece of shit, Waller said as she pulled out her gun and pointed towards the youngest billionaire. Not so fun when you're on the receiving end, is it? You're a typical bully, and there's nothing more than I hate than a bully. Now, you have 3 seconds to put that pistol down. Otherwise, I cannot be held responsible for my action from here on out. Waller's hand started to shake as she realized that she walked into a lion den without even thinking. 3, 2. Naruto purposely did not finish. In the blink of an eye, her gun was smashed down into the ground, away from her grasp as Naruto grabbed her face and slammed it into the ground. All of that happened in a second. You think being a government stooge give you a reason or a license to mess with people's lives, said Naruto as he held her down. His tone was calm, not even raising once, as he reached down and picked her up by her throat as he lifted her. The ground floor was extremely tough, and despite not using that much force, well, it seemed like he did not, Waller's nose was broken and a few teeth had been set loose out of her mouth as blood was castrating down her face as Naruto held her up with one hand. You won't get away with this, she said. I won't get away with this. You really are a sociopath, aren't you? You really don't believe that you're in the wrong here. The world doesn't need evil like you. I'll do the world a favor and just get rid of you. As Naruto walked towards the balcony, as he stepped out, multiple sniper shots were fired towards him, just as he suspected they were Waller sniper's goon. However, Naruto's body got covered in a split second the moment his feet touched the balcony. His body was covered in a black suit. Prometheus wave mesh suit. Something that your government would never get their hands on, said Naruto, as the bullets ricocheted off him. As Naruto's voice was now distorted because of the modulation in the suit. Granted, the bullets could not really hurt him if he wasn't wearing the suit, but people did not need to know that. Not just yet, if possible, not ever. Therefore, the suit will have to do for now, as it completely secures his identity. Goodbye, Waller, said Naruto. It was a displeasure to know you, said Naruto as he threw her right off the building. It was a 50-story building. He wondered how would she get herself out of this. If not, he would like to see her splatter. What the hell are you doing? You can go to jail because of this, Hack said to him, as she couldn't believe the recklessness that her boss was showing right now. This woman does not exist as far as the government want people to know, nor does her government division exist. And I cannot go to jail for killing someone that doesn't exist, now can I? However, someone appeared behind Waller in a teleportation and wrapped their arms around her and vanished. They appeared behind Naruto, both of them, as Naruto turned, feeling the magic in the person next to her. So she is a source of your teleportation powers. What is she? A sorcerer, said Naruto. Let us call her an existential resource right now, Waller said, as all of her injuries had been healed. This thing, whatever it was, had healed her completely, as Naruto could feel demonic energy and power leaking from this thing, whatever it was. She had red hair and glowing ember eyes. She was wearing a short sleeve, green body fit suit. with black boots that went up to her lower thighs. She also had on a dark green hoodie, and overall, despite her demonic aura and appearance, she was incredibly beautiful. An existential resource. Are you controlling her like what you thought you could control me? What possible leverage could you have over her, Naruto asks, as he was unable to believe that such a powerful entity could become a servant for someone like Waller. That is none of your concern. What should concern you is the attempted murder of a government official. So not only do I have Supergirl leverage over you, I now have attempted murder charge over you. You're in a very bad spot, Naruto Uzumaki. I suggest that you start to cooperate before things become even worse for you. I'll go to trial for attempted murder. I have no problem with that, so long as you understand that I have video evidence of you holding me at gunpoint, and naturally, I also had audio and video of you threatening me and Supergirl if I don't become one of your pawns, said Naruto. If you want to go through the legal route, we can go there, Waller, said Naruto. I see now, you're a very stubborn and naive young man. However, you're gonna have to learn today that you cannot defy the wall and get away with it. Enchantress, seize him. Take him back to one of her special cells now. However, Enchantress hesitated as she looked between Naruto and Waller. What part of now do you not understand? Waller yelled angrily, as Enchantress looked between them once again before nodded. She appeared behind Naruto and creeped at sight, as she drove it towards his shoulder, intent to stab him right through the shoulder. However, something grabbed her wrists and threw her right off the balcony. However, she simply teleported back to Waller's side. Whatever grabbed her, it wasn't one anymore. A dozen soldiers appeared out of nowhere. They were moving so fast, you could see after images as they moved. They were all dressed in black, all of them Caucasian, as they were big and strong with large blades on their back, guns on their hip. 4 of them stood in a protective stance around Naruto, while 7 of them stood in an offensive stance against Enchantress and Waller. Waller pressed the earpiece. Sniper unit, take them down now. I repeat, take them down. But nothing responded to Waller, as a pit started to form in her stomach. I wouldn't bother if I were you. They have already been taken care of, said Naruto. You're all alone now, Waller, said Naruto. Alone? Huh. I still have the biggest guard of them all. I don't know what these guard dogs of yours are. Metahumans, aliens, or whatever. It does not matter. Enchantress, destroy all of them, but do not kill that pompous little brat. We still need him alive, Waller said. Enchantress appeared behind one of the soldiers as she manifested 2 of her magical Seiya's weapons. She tried to decapitate him, but he ducked. Despite not looking behind him, he just ducked. He then moved out of the way so fast. All that could be seen was his after images, as he spun back to her side and sliced, trying to tear right through her from the waist. However, she teleported once again. She appeared right behind him, seeing that he was still bent when he had tried to slice her in half. She tried to take his head off, but he somehow evaded her. But he could not see her. That wasn't possible, as he rolled and pulled out his gun. When he fired, she instantly teleported away. Those were not bullets. It was a strange engine that came out of the gun, and she knew that it would hurt. As she returned back to Waller's side, I cannot defeat them easily. At the very least, I cannot defeat them while protecting you as well. Their speed and reaction are out of this world. It's almost like they have eyes at the back of their heads. This mission of yours is a failure. I would suggest a strategic retreat. Waller was shocked. The only time Enchantress ever spoke to her was when she was threatening her. What are they? Do you know? Waller asks. Some kind of metahuman, but one I have not encountered. I have tried to link with them telepathically, but it seemed like all of their minds are connected. Perhaps that is how they were able to react when I attacked them at their blind spot. If they share one mind, then the collective mind must see what the others can see. Their eyes, they're connected, Enchantress said. As Waller looked towards her, you seem really cooperative today. I am. I did not notice, Enchantress said. She had a nonchalance about her that Waller did not like. As Waller started to call, Rick, answer me. What's the status? What's the black box status? Rick! Waller yelled, as she tried to get through her communication device. As Waller was trying to find out about the heart of Enchantress, yes, they had it in containment. Ah, did I mention my suit has a frequency jammer as well? Naruto spoke up. As Waller clenched her fists. What are you up to? Right now? Nothing. It's already done. They will be here in 3, 2, 1. Brainwave and Instant appeared on the balcony. Brainwave, Instant, welcome back. Now why don't you return to the lady, the heart that was stolen from her? Enchantress, watch, as Instant appeared in front of her. As he slammed the heart right on her chest, the green and black heart sank right into her chest. There was an explosion of power from her, as she finally got what she's been searching for the last year. Her freedom. Waller's eyes went wide. How did you? What have you done? She backed away in fear. You are a fool, Miss Waller. Enchantress is a telepath, you idiot. She and I have been communicating and sharing information from the moment you two appeared in front of me. She told me that you had her heart in your possession and that you were using it to control her. She told me that you will have Rick Flag blow up or stab the heart if she disobeyed you. Waller's eyes widened in surprise as realization dawned on her. My man here, Brainwave, is also a telepath, so I was able to share the information, and I'm sure that you can guess what happened after that. Waller now understand why Enchantress hesitated when she was told to attack Naruto. You fool! You have no idea what you have unleashed. There is nothing that can stop her. She will destroy the earth, said Waller. No, she does not. She doesn't want to destroy the world, you imbecile. She wants something that is beyond your comprehension. Enchantress is now my ally. So if you did not fear me before, you should fear me now. But you should be grateful. I'm not going to put you out of your misery just yet. I have a message I want you to deliver back to your little group, and whoever might dare to come after me again. Enchantress, if you could be a dear and do the honors for me, said Naruto. It would be my pleasure, beloved liberator. Enchantress walked towards Waller, who dropped to her knees and started to scream like she was caught in a terrible nightmare, which was exactly what was happening. Enchantress trapping her in a nightmare, her worst fears. You know, it's a good thing I activated the sound barriers and seals around here. I wonder what people would think of me if they were to see or hear everything happen today. Naruto wondered to himself as he watched the scene play out in front of him. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs over the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.